You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/day to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/day for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Why, hello there. Death or dishonor? Which would you choose? Get up! What's up, sickos? It's me. And this is Don't Call Me Diva, where we only talk women's wrestling. I run down all the women's action in the weekly AEW and ROH shows, plus whatever else women's wrestling I feel like talking about. Let it be known, everyone, before you enter here, that we live in the world of kayfabe in Divaville. It is episode 26 of our lovely little show, and if you need to know more about why, you need to know more about moi and why we are here, go check out episode 1 in the playlist. How's everyone doing this week? I'm doing wonderfully, slightly out of breath from my elevated entrance. Really got to work on that. Bea Priestley, remember Bea Priestley? She has officially signed with Stardom, which is very exciting. I'm super happy for her. Slightly selfish reasons, because we now have that little forbidden door hallway that likes to open, between the two from time to time. And that could potentially give us a B versus DMD feud. From all the way back in that first ever AEW pay-per-view where they basically fought each other on the outside of the ring from word go, the moment they saw each other. That would be a wonderful feud to bring DMD back for. So my little excited little tendrils are going out for that one. Be awesome. Before we move on, Queen Amanata was finally able to return to the United States of the Americas with a temporary passport after her one got stolen in the United Kingdom. Now, not one to usually throw around criminal accusations, but since AEW is where the best criminals wrestle, I have put a little side eye on the Triangle of Madness, and I do not think I am the only one, as perhaps being behind that little passport yoinkage. But who am I to say? Kayfabe. We're all in the land of dastardly kayfabe. And with now all of that said and done, shall we say metaphorically bring thy boom, literally shake your boobs, because it's time for motherfucking dynamite. Woo! We are in the iconic 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, the arena where there have been many a ECW event held. A lot of blood has been spilt in this arena, and after AEW is done with it for these next few weeks, we shall be seeing more, I shall say. And speaking of blood, the Death Riders come out to the ring, which means that we get to hang out with our good friend Marina Shafir for a bit. Fucking Yuta. And Marina's death stare follows Moxley out through the very raucous crowd. Every camera angle that catches Marina's eye gets its own personal glare. I don't think that the Death Riders are desperate enough yet, but I notice that the longer they go through this trial of defeat, the more terrifying Marina is becoming. And if they get desperate and she's terrifying, I'm glad I'm on her side. That's just all I have to say. She, I thought of a thought about Renee. We're not going there. She is in all black battle goodness and keeps her eyes glued on the action in the ring this whole time. Now, Mux is facing the dear Daniel of Garcia, who, along with Darby, has always been a bit of a thorn in Moxley's side. Marina, her rippling muscles and fucking Yuta, staunch Danny out when he goes to the outside, but Marina doesn't physically get involved, maybe due to the light, the tight French braids, I should say, keeping her in line. Or it's the fact that the ref was right there, and the last time she didn't give two fucks about it, she got kicked out. But she doesn't move. She doesn't move. Garcia is still not out of trouble, though, until a wild Daddy of the Magic runs to Daddy's side. Finally, someone is here to back him up. Danny Magic doesn't have much problems backing off FY, but Marina was a different problem, for she is the problem. Marina and her rippling muscles eventually gives ground, and she too backs off. Little awkwardly, but backs off. Garcia was hitting Mux with a lot of dragon screws, and after one that went through the ropes, Mux falls to the outside, clutching at his knee, and Marina instantly sprints to his side. But Mux doesn't have a look of pain or even anger on his face. It's almost like a sadistic look of joy, for Mux. He has a lot to say to Marina during this recovery time. She's listening intently, and for the rest of the match, they leave Danny alone. Actions after the match makes me think that Mox is perhaps maybe wanting to recruit this Garcia. This Garcia, as if he hasn't been around for ages. And that was maybe one of the things he was perhaps conveying earlier to our Miss Shafir. They exit through the crowd, leaving a very sweaty and very confused Garcia. The bad ass team of Mega Bird in action against the newly combined, literally, and also figuratively, the masked Harley Cameron and the pastel grey Chris Statlander. Harley is not going to be intimidated from getting her revenge against Megabad, and having a good friend like Stat in her corner is a brilliant idea as a tag partner for her mission. Grey Stat is still being circled by the Death Riders, but she still seems more scared than mesmerized by Mox. And she seems kind of lost in her current quest for herself. It's not being fueled by the right emotions now. I feel like she doesn't want to go be completely good and forgive everything. She doesn't also really look like she wants to go badass lone wolf revenge. So Harley is a fabulous ingredient for some healing. Here's hoping. Megaman comes out first. Both of them are crowned in gorgeous headpieces, as is tradition. Megan Bain is in her exquisite battle gear from Forbidden Door, but unfortunately for me, and hopefully for all of you, Penelope has her very cool purple and black super bag gear on. It's not her Forbidden Door battle gear, and I am sad. But just for a moment, because phase one of the coolest entrance in wrestling is completed. They make their way around the ring and then enter to complete phase two. Instantly, the world plunges into black and pink because the combined force literally and figuratively, of Harley and Stat are here. And they have a pretty darn cool entrance themselves. The whole 2300 arena erupts into cheers as Harley and Stat make their way to the ring. Two insanely over wrestlers who are every crowd's favorite. Harley is in her Forbidden Door gear, and so is Chris. They have an adorable combined entrance into the ring that cracks me the fuck up. And this team, I could just gobble up and eat for lunch. They are just amazing. Please give me more Harley and Stat forever. The ref signals for the bell and the battle begins. Ford and Stat will be facing off against each other. First, Penelope walks right up to Chris with all the attitude, no fear, and shoves her in the chest. Stat shoves her right back and sends a flying forward, flying backwards onto her buttocks. This indignity activates Ford's bad girl, and when she gets to her feet, Penelope grabs a handful of Stats here and slams her into the mat. Ford walks over to Harley and pushes her in the face before walking backwards, mocking Stat's gun show, unknowingly into the real Stat, who has gotten back up to her feet. Penelope pays for her cheeky little actions and gets dominated by Chris, who wrestles her all over the ring and then drop kicks her into the first pin. But Ford is tough and she kicks out at 2. Being able to regroup, Penelope is on form for the next flurry of violence when Stat whips her into the corner. Ford clocks Cameron in the face with a back elbow and then boots Chris in the face as she runs in for the attack. Ford spins around Stat's body, maybe looking to put her in an octopus lock, but instead she just gets stopped mid-spin and Chris splashes Ford down onto her knee for a backbreaker lariat super combo. Oh. Chris keeps a hold of Ford's arm and tags in Harley. Megan stands tall on the apron, as statuesque as ever, watching the battle take place and giving like snide little looks to the crowd who dare to be cheering on people other than her. Although honestly, I don't think she gives a shit. She just hates that they're cheering on like anyone. Megan stands tall on the apron, as statuesque as ever, watching the battle take place. Stat whips Ford into the corner again, and this time she gets a kick from Harley to the back of her head. Harley springs over the top rope like a gazelle and sprints into the ropes to missile herself into Penelope with a stiff lariat as the crowd chant, "Feel the wrath!" A quick tag into Stat, and Ford might be in some trouble. I'm sorry, honey. A Russian leg sweep into Ford from Harley puts Penelope on the mat, and before she can get up, Stat catapults herself over the top rope and sentons down onto Penelope. They are done. They double team on Penelope with an assisted spinning body slam. Cameron gets out of that ring and Stat goes for the pin, but Ford powers out before it gets to 3. Stat gives Ford a delayed vertical suplex that brings Ford down hard onto her lower back and hip area, and she just nopes the fook out of there. Tagging in Megan Bain while Chris Statlander gives the applauding crowd a gun show. But it will not be Stat and Bane facing off. It shall be Bane and Harley, because Harley demands the tag, and Stat, of course, obliges her friend, which stuns the Megasis, like the audacity of the bravery in this little kangaroo. The crowd are chanting for Harley, and Bane gives them a look of, "How dare you?" and then turns that look at Cameron and turns it into a disgusted look. Bane pushes Cameron around, tries to humiliate her a few times, and then pulls the test of strength. But Harley cracks her in the face with a headbutt, more devastating due to the mask, and Bane stumbles backwards. Harley runs in at Bane with a battle cry and body slams her into the corner turnbuckles. Harley then kicks and stomps on Bane, releasing a battle cry with everyone, planting her into the corner. It was taking a moment for the big battle cry from the depths that would turn the tables for Bane, unfortunately, as this gives her a moment to regen. And when Harley tries to body slam her again after building up that power, Bane yoinks her, takes her into the middle of the ring, and then slams her down onto the mat, sometimes pausing for a battle cry of power from the depths. It's not the best thing to do. Bane drags Harley by one arm over to her corner and tags in Penelope. Bane gives her a stiff chop, Harley, not Penelope, and keeps her in place. Penelope then gives Harley a couple of stomps right into that gut. This rude interaction activates Harley, and she lays in some stiff forearms to Ford's very lovely face. But booting Penelope in the face seems to have done some real damage to her. Or has it? Ford's brilliant acting is enough to convince the ref that this requires severe investigation. But it is just a distraction for Megan Bane to take Harley out with a very stiff clothesline. Seth tries to tell the ref about the interfering clothesline, but as we all know, this is never what you do when your opponent is conducting dastardly deeds behind the ref's back, as the ref will always go for you and tell you off for getting into the ring. Let it be known that snitching is also very frowned upon in kayfabe, and you will never get rewarded for it. The best thing for you to do is just plan your revenge and use this ref bug to your advantage. Penelope drop kicks Harley in the back and takes her down for a fun and sexy pin, but Cameron kicks out at 2. Penelope seems miffed about this kick out, but she has to admit that it was more of a cheeky pin than a dominating pin. Penelope takes her by the head and throws her into her corner and tags in Bane. Bane takes Harley into the middle of the ring and body slams her into the mat a couple of times. The third time, Bane delays it for a little bit, walks around the ring with Harley in her arms while the boos of the crowd just rain down upon her. Instead, desperately tries to reach out for Harley for the tag. It all just leads to another body slam for Harley Cameron. And Bane drags her by the hair over to her corner and tags in Penelope Ford. They are quick on these tags. In comparison, they are the more what's that word? They are the more, I was going to say the more combined tag team, but you know what I mean. They've been doing it for a lot longer than Harley and Cameron have been together. Penelope continues stomping on Harley while the crowd are doing their best to roast the mega sis. It's not doing much help to Harley's predicament, though. Penelope has taken her over to another corner as she was getting counted out of her previous one and has continued to stomp and kick Cameron until she gets counted out of that one for the illegal destruction. Penelope knows all the tricks, though, and it's not long before she pounces on Harley again, standing on her chest and smushing Harley into the turnbuckle, taunting the crowd as she does. That rascally 5 count from the ref is back, and Penelope gets off of Harley. It doesn't get better for Cameron, though, as she is again thrown into Ford and Bane's corner, and Bane gets tagged in. Bane chops Harley into a couple of corners, and this time the crowd use their chanting ability for Harley, who desperately needs it right now. It's not working. Harley finds herself in Megan's grasp again and gets tossed over her head and onto the mat via a cradle overhead belly-to-belly suplex from the Megasis. Bane tags in Penelope. Quick tags again, goes down on all fours and becomes the launching pad for Ford's standing moonsault. Penelope goes for the pin, this time with a lot more intention, but Harley's heart kicks out before the 3, which causes Ford to battle cry in frustration. Excuse me. A pissed off Penelope takes her rage and jams her hatred into Harley's back with her boot and pulls on her arms for more torture in the surfboard stretch. Harley's nose is bleeding, which is a tad worrying considering she had surgery on it only a few months ago. Noses take a redonkulously long time to actually heal, and she cannot be as reckless with her face as she has been. She bloody head-butted Bane with it. What a noodle. Ugh. I guess Reckless is just Harley Cameron's middle name. With a twist and a swerve, Harley breaks away from Penelope and can finally tag in Stat, who has been itching to get back into this match. Chris takes down Penelope. She runs at Bane, who has climbed through the ropes, and plants her in the corner when she came from. Stat missiles a running knee into the side of Bane's face, and instead of helping, Ford ends up hurting Bane as Chris sees her handspring back elbow coming and gets out of the way just in time. Chris smushes them both into the corner with a lariat, then drags Penelope out to the middle of the ring and slams her down with a blue thunderbomb into the pin. Do you know that Penelope has been with AEW since day one and has yet to earn a title? Rude. Anyway, Stat pins Penelope, but Ford uses her whole body to kick out at 2. I mean, she was away for like a little while for like personal reasons. But we're in kayfabe here, no personal reasons. Penelope cannot get off the mat though, so Stat kindly helps her. Penelope expertly backflips out of Chris's grasp and stumbles back into her corner. Bane manages to get to her feet just in time to make the tag. Penelope runs back at Chris for the misdirect, and it worked. Chris tosses forward at Bane, thinking this would take her out, but this is part of the Mega Bad's plan. Megan throws forward back at Stat, and Penelope takes Chris out with a cutter. Superb double team move. Give us the bloody tag team tournament already. Oh, speaking of tournaments, we have exciting ROH news coming up. Wah! Megan Bane is activated with a battle cry as she deadlifts Stat over her head and takes her down to the mat with a thud via a German suplex. Megan keeps her battle cry going as she lines up Stat and takes her out with the Decapitator, her devastating flying lariat. Bane pins Chris in what looks like a comfy little pin hug, but Harley won't allow such things to happen as she jumps into the ring and makes the save. The crowd cheer, but Penelope is quick to get into the ring and she just starts stomping on Harley. Chris has rolled over to the corner of the ring, and Megan positions Harley where she wants her. Ford and Bane exchange a look, and then they both climb the ropes. Ford climbs to the top, and Bane stands on the middle. In sync, they take flight with twin moonsaults. But Mega Bad only find the mat waiting for them as they both come crashing down onto no one. Stat kicks Ford in the head, and Cameron gives Bane a running knee. Stat and Harley double team on Bane and take her down with an assisted pendulum facebreaker type movie, and Stat goes for the quick pin, but Ford recovers in time to make that save. Penelope takes Stat out with a crucifix bomb, which she does excellently, and Harley stops Ford with an equally excellent neck breaker. Harley's momentum gets drop kicked the fuck out of her by Bane, who rises to her feet with a what, people? A battle cry from thy depths to only get taken out by Chris Statlander's discus lariat. Remember what I said about not every time is a good time for a battle cry from the depths? And that's another one. All 4 wrestlers are out on the mat, and Philly roars with appreciation for this match. Thank you, Philly. Thank you very much. Harley and Penelope roll out and catch their breath in the corner, while Bane and Stat exchange forearms in the middle of the ring. With the cheers of the crowd behind her, Chris breaks through the lariats and lays in multiple forearms to Bane, followed by a boot. Chris lines up Bane and cracks her in the side of the head. Chris releases a battle cry from the depths, and once again, this is not a good time because she has not noticed that Penelope has tagged in. Chris runs back at Bane and topples her over the top rope with a lariat. Ford wastes no time, though, and she grabs Stat's head, pulls her head down onto the top rope with a guillotine. Harley has seen everything go down and runs around the ring to take down Bane before she can gather her stamina back. The fearless Harley throws herself at Bane and takes her out with a satellite DDT, driving Bane's face into the floor. Penelope has climbed to the top rope and flies at Chris with a crossbody. She takes that down, but Chris gets to her feet, all while still having Ford in her arms. Stat's power has gone top gear. Chris hefts Penelope onto his shoulders in a fireman carry and then transitions her electric chair. Penelope seems to be trying to shift her weight and wiggle backwards to take Stat down with a poison rana, but the strength of Stat keeps her right where she is, thank you. And she slams forward face first onto the mat. Chris quickly transitions Penelope into a head scissors armbar submission combo before Bane can get to her feet, and Penelope she must tap. As Stat's music plays in victory, Bane is on her feet as quick as lightning, pulls Harley out from underneath her, pulls Harley's feet out from underneath her. She doesn't pull Harley out from Megan Bane goes straight up to Chris, grabs her by the head, and lays in multiple forearm shots to her face. But out of there and tries to recover some feeling in her arm. Chris fights back, stops Megan's onslaught with stiff forearms of her own, and then kicks her in the face. With Bane leaning on the ropes, Chris pumps herself up and battle cries with the crowd. But she turns to Bane, the hero of the locker room. Willow Nightingale has rolled into the ring. We are stunned. And now they are standing face to face with each other. For just a moment, Ford gets Bane out of the ring and forces the unwilling Megasis to retreat to the back. She was very ready to just plow through and continue fighting Stat. Harley gets back into the ring and gives both wrestlers a real big, sweaty Harley hug, and she raises all three of their hands in the air. And it honestly all gets a bit more awkward. Chris exits the ring and the arena, giving us the gun show, all while not looking at Willow and completely ignoring the hug it out chants from the crowd. I don't think we're there yet, crowd, but we might be close. We may be close. We fade to the black. Jesus Christ. We fade to the back and move on. Now, I know a lot of other sickos and non-sickos want another tag team to win the first ever tag titles. But in my heart, I really want Mega Bad to be the first champions. Like, if I was to put a vote, that would be where my vote would be. I feel like where my heart vote would be. Now where my vote would be. Heart and real vote, all the same thing. I feel like they really put the fire back into building the tag division again. They just came out of nowhere as a tag team. And at first it was like, eh? But then it was like, oh, no, well, I mean, Bane loves being violent. Penelope Ford loves being violent. I can see how that works. And they really, really fired it up, in my opinion. Yeah. Penelope's knowledge and her power and her toughness and her talent has gelled beautifully with Bane's destructive demeanor and unstoppable power. It makes them very dangerous as a tag team. I hope the tag titles are also big and magnificent instead of like dainty, because every champion deserves to win a big sparkly belt, not a little tiny belt. I wonder what it was about this particular after-match shenanigans from Bane that got Willow to come out and help this time. She seemed to not know what to say or how to even act around Stat. Gave her quite the, like, what are you doing here look? And it was a very dangerous move to do, because Stat was like right in the middle of battle crying, right in the middle of powering up to like hit Bane, who she had much vengeance towards, and that could have been turned on Willow, and then holy flickin' fraggles, pleeples, we could be in a completely different situation by now. So it was very dangerous on Willow's half. Willow was obviously very hurt by Chris's actions in the past. Chris has been also hurt by Willow's indifference, though. If Harley puts her mind to it, I reckon she would be able to bring them back together. Perhaps maybe counseling via puppets. The CEO finally gets her victory celebration next, and all but one of her belts are lined up beautifully in the ring, with the awaiting remarkable at swerving her repercussions Renee in comfortable black piquette, who shall be hosting this celebration. Mercedes Moné walks to the ring in a stunning golden scales dragon type dress with multicolored sparkles around her testicles. The TBS champion still has her delicious Neapolitan hair, and she is draped in a long golden robe that tails from her elbows. The CEO puts up with Renee's questions until she oversteps, and Mercedes has to remind her exactly who she was, and she kicks her out of the ring. So the TBS champion can celebrate the way that the CEO's champion wants to celebrate, with a CEO dance. Mercedes wants to break Ultimo Dragon's 10 belt reign and become Mercedes Dragon. Mercedes Dragon, commander of her own fleet of boats. And the first title that comes to my mind is like, would she want to yoink the ROH championship again? Or try to? But we ponder on that and we fade away from a very, very happy dancing Monet. We'll leave her to it, shall we? We get next a very, very passionate promo from our dear Mina Shirakawa, another dancing battler, with the timeless world champion by her side. She is addressing Athena and her match coming up for Death Before Dishonor. It is now why we are here that I would like to apologize, as I will not be reviewing the Eve as I had previously because I had completely forgotten about ROH Death Before Dishonor. My bad. We shall go over Eve next week. The rest of the Death Riders show up at the Darby's match versus, Claudio, and they try to take him out, but Darby is a slippery little eel and escapes Marina. Marina doesn't manage to stop him, and we end the show on some very disappointed Death Riders. Oh, boo-hoo. Boo-boo-boo-hoo. Boo-boo-boo-hoo, Death Riders. Bless their little hearts. Now, we travel on to Collision Land and see what's going on over there, shall we? Arcadiora is gorgeous and orange. Midway through Garcia's match, Mox walks through the crowd. We're picking up where we left off. Straight up to the ring he goes, and he beckons Garcia to come closer so he can tell him some battle secrets. We are here, of course, though, because Marina is here, and she's dressed for battle this evening in her fighting sports bra. Marina gives Garcia some of her own advice as well, and when they leave Danny to battle, what happens next is not for us to discuss, and we shall move on, but just to the end of this match, because it seems like the Death Riders have some more words for Mr. Garcia after he wins. This time, Marina comes out with fucking Yuta, who has some words for the victorious Danny, while Marina scares the shit out of me by just standing there smiling. She's smiling after he is done accepting the challenge on behalf of the team. Marina grabs fucking Yuta by the shirt and they leave ringside. Again, will Marina be back before this episode? Who knows? Absolutely stunning in a all-black strapless waistcoat and skirt. Our girl Lexina and her gorgeous hair are interviewing the conglomeration in a car park. This happened earlier in the day and it was not a smooth operation. Lexi seems to have been in the middle of some faction conflicts, and you know what? We're just going to leave her to it. We have another bit of earlier business to interrupt. We swoop in a frantic Kip and a stunning Mother Wayne, mothering in all black. As you know, a personal favor to me. She would prefer if the cameras weren't here to film this current distress, but Kip keeps brushing that off. He is far too preoccupied to even care about who is currently eavesdropping. It appears that Luchasaurus is the cause of all of Kip's distress, as he gets an earful of it as soon as he arrives. Mother Wayne, in her black leather jacket, gets in between them before a fight can break out, and she sends Kip away. We await Mother Wayne's words to Luchasaurus, but the clip ends before we can find out what they are. Next up, everyone, you gotta make sure you stretch before this one, because if you really power this one out, you can like pull a muscle. It's not the one you think it is, though. Next up, Windsor. Fuck, that's fun to do. She is having a battle against Ashley Vox, who we have spoken about before in an earlier episode. We will be seeing again. Windsor walks out to the ring to a cheering crowd who have very much enjoyed saying Windsor as much as I have. Alex Windsor is dressed in her red and gold battle gear, and she battle poses on the apron before giving us all another Windsor. Ashley Fox is very pumped to be here and has like little punk vibe inside of her as she battle poses with a battle cry in her blue and white battle gear. The bell rings and the wrestlers energetically lock up. Windsor wins the test of strength and shoves Ashley down. Windsor yells at her to come on in the spirit of, fight, confrontation. Vox rises to the challenge and lays in multiple forearms to Windsor's chest, but she gets shoved to the mat again by Windsor. This time, Vox gets to her feet and drop kicks Alex Windsor to the mat. Vox releases a massive battle cry from the depths and goes to crack Windsor with a forearm, but Windsor blocks it, grabs her arm, twists her around, grabbing Vox by the leg and then slamming her over and down onto the mat with a lovely fisherman suplex. Vox gets to her feet but stumbles backwards into the corner and is now the perfect target for Windsor. But the battle cry from Windsor alerts Vox to the incoming attack, and she escapes the corner in time to avoid the running Windsor. We are seeing a lot of examples of when not to battle cry in this episode. Alex Windsor gets taken off her game for just a moment before she regains the match with a powerbomb and she locks on the sharpshooter. Ashley Vox instantly taps and Alex Windsor is the victor. She basks in her glory until Tony Schiavone comes into the ring to address the things that Mercedes Moné had to say about her. Windsor lays it all out there in the ring and she challenges Moné for another chance to take her TBS title away, which would take her further away from being Mercedes. We shall have to wait and see what Miss Moné has to say about all that later. Lexi Nair and her fabulous outfit are out in the car park again, this time with Briscoe and Adon. She also has some more words for Don while he is with two members of his family later on. But we don't need to linger here, so let's just doodle on, shall we? We just say, hello, Nick. Hello, Lexi. How you doing, Lexi? Do you need a coffee, Lexi? Are you all good? All right, carry on. Sidebar, if I may. And I've seen other people say this as well. It happened once on Dynamite and never again, please. Please no more Twitter/X comments on the screen. Please no. It's so cringe. So cringe. I don't care. I just want to watch wrestling. I don't want shit popping up. Be shush on that, okay? But you know what's not cringe? Now this one you really have to stretch for. Although I'm always limber for Layla Gray. Don't Call Me Diva VIP Layla Gray is back from promoting her new album. Hello, Queen. She has a stack of cash in her hand and is gorgeous in a shiny black pants and beautiful blue corset combo with delicate chains draped around her lovely neck. Christopher Daniels yoinks a bill out of our dear Layla's hand, which is very rude. She only said shit. That's not a swear, Mr. Fallen Angel. Now, God. Now that's a swear. They all walk away from Layla Gray, which is completely baffling to me. But here we go. Goodbye, Miss Gray. Until next time, we shall meet again. Layla Gray. Mwah! Now that we've had that little burst of serotonin, we have a star-studded trios match to end our collision. I love me a multi-man tag match. The one thing I love about Japanese and Mexican wrestling is that they also love a multi-man tag matches and also intergender matches. Watch a pay-per-view from either country and you are bound to get at least 2 multi-man tag matches and a battle royale type thing. Hint, hint, TK. Our collision main event is next, and I am very excited for this match because every wrestler is a Don't Call Me Diva fave. I mean, I know you can say that about a lot of things, but shush, let me have this. The world goes gray, but the reds are accentuated into our hearts because it's time for Timeless Tony's time. Our AEW World Champion. She glides to the ring as the whole crowd erupts into cheers as the first woman in wrestling makes sure to acknowledge them all. A fan hands Timeless a rose, and she graciously accepts the gift. Our world champion twirls and swooshes in the ring, her silk robe dancing along with her. Color then explodes into the world, and we see that Timeless world champion is dressed in the brightest yellow. Her battle gear is a yellow velvet-looking one-piece with a fluffy tush and a black and gold pattern around the bodice. Mina Shirakawa's entrance is the one that has brought the explosion of candy colors to the 2300 arena, and the Timeless one leads us all in a appropriate bouquet. Mina arrives in a white, silver, and gold battle jacket with a fluff and long pom-poms on its sleeve. Her battle gear is green and gold with some little pinks in there, all very appropriately sparkled with all of the straps that is wrestling. Mina is the interim ROH World Television Champion while Red Velvet heals from injury, and she has her own title around her waist because Red Velvet still has her red one. Mina Shirakawa dances her battle dance of power with her title belt, so it's now a little bit stronger. Oop. Mina boogies her way into the ring and battle poses on the ropes, holding her title high. Shirakawa and Timeless greet each other as the next wrestler's music hits. And we know we love this one. It's the hip-shaking beats of Queen Aminata. The one and only walks confidently, graciously, and powerfully down to the ring dressed in silver from head to toe. Queen Aminata is sparkling everywhere and is accessorized with some chains. Queen Aminata swells her robe and it almost goes into business for itself, but Aminata gains control and finishes her entrance with a smile. Queen Aminata beams her way down to the ring as the crowd chant out her name. It's air kisses all around with the trio of lovely ladies, and then the drum solo straight from the early 2000s plays, and that can only mean one thing. Our purple nutcracker, Billy Starks, walks confidently out to the ring with a happy, sadistic smile on her face. Billy is in her purple and white battle gear. It's layered and sparkled and strapped as is tradition. She is in no way intimidated by the muscle in the ring and springs up and over the top rope to complete her battle entrance on the ropes. Considering who her tag partners are, I wonder how much Hyde Starks we shall be seeing. Speaking of, everything goes black. Are we dreaming? It's Triangle of Madness, says Julia Hart. And Sky Blue! Julia Hart is in her iconic hat of curses, her long, cool as Fook battle jacket, and is wearing her lime and black battle gear for this one. Sky Blue has her crown of death, her long sheer black cloak, and is in her battle gear, the black one with the blue trim and all the skin. Our woman with all the hair now has a shorter but much floofier hairstyle, and I love it. After the images stop flashing on the Titantron, we focus on Julia and Sky, who are under illuminated dark, holding hands as they walk down to the ring under the strobing lights. My eyes. Julia and Sky battle pose on the ring, and Starks joins them for a team battle pose. I think the faces might be in a bit of trouble here. The lights stop being possessed, and we see the team of Mina, Timeless, and Queen Aminata are not being intimidated at all by these spooky entrances. Their first lock up in this battle is Sky Blue and Timeless Tony Storm. It does not surprise me in the least that Sky is in combat first, considering her absolute enjoyment of violence. Timeless also loves a good fight, and she has a lot of fighting words for Blue. They look up. The world champion is still jaw-jacking at Sky as she gets her into this side headlock. The world champion then takes her down to the mat and continues squeezing Sky's hair betwixt her forearm and biceps. Sky thinks quick though and rolls Tony onto her shoulders, but the hip strength of Storm gets her out of that real easily. Sky is still in the headlock, and our world champion is still taunting Sky. The crowd has started singing for our Tony Storm, and this seems to really aggravate Billy, who is screaming at them to shut up. Good luck with that, love. In the ring, Sky has slid out of the headlock and is now squeezing the world champion's head. But she too gets annoyed at Philly's singing, and this distraction puts her back in Painesville. Tony Storm decides that she now owns Sky Blue's left arm, and she twists it into a pretzel, giving Blue no choice but to follow. Storm gets Sky back down onto the mat and pushes her knee down on the side of Blue's face whilst giving her a good tongue lashing. Verbal, not physical. Sky powers off the mat and pushes through the pain, twists herself around, and then once again gets the world champion in a headlock. It's headlock city over here. Blue backs her way into the corner, bringing the world champion with her. Julia intends on tagging in as a double team is probably in the works, but Billy tags in first, and you can see that both Sky and Julia had not intended on that to happen. As the crowd boo the tag in from Billy, Starks continues to yell at the crowd. She starts off strong, but dragging the world champion Timeless Tony Storm back to the middle of the ring in a headlock. But that was not the move. Starks gets a couple of stiff forearms to the face. Billy tries to counter. Well, she does counter pretty well with her beautiful jawbreaker. Then goes into the spinning heel kick. Starks gives Timeless some room, which turns. Oh, okay. When I go like this, he is not here right now. But when I go like this is when you're meant to stop the thing and cut it out. Because I just had a brain blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to drink my drink. And I'm going to not do that. Okay, that was that bad. All right. And I am starting from she starts off strong, but dragging the world champion Timeless Tony Storm. She starts off strong, but dragging the world champion Timeless Tony Storm back to the middle of the ring in a headlock was not the move, and Starks gets a couple of stiff forearms to the face. Billy counters with her beautiful jawbreaker into that spinning heel kick of hers. Starks gives Timeless some room, though, which turns against her. And as Starks comes running back at Tony from the ropes, she gets yoinked and Tony slams her down and onto her knee for a backbreaker. It's now Tony who drags Billy over to her corner, and she tags in Mina for some fun double team action. See, if Billy had just let Julia tag in, she wouldn't be in this position, but she did, so she is. Billy gets whipped into the ropes, and she catapults back into two elbows from two champions. The Timeless one gets into quite the sexy squat, and Mina tornado splashes down onto Starks and stays there for the pin, but she just gets a 2. Billy's pain is not over as Mina gets to her feet, drags her by the hair over to her corner, and plunks Billy right there. Mina tags in Queen Aminata, and the crowd cheers! The one and only chops the life out of Billy Starks. Queen Aminata accidentally, though, does Billy a massive favor by bringing her into the middle of the ring for a power move. Starks wiggles out of it, quickly rolls her up, which the queen has to kick out of. But this gives Billy the chance to scamper for her life, and she tags in Julia Hart. Queen Aminata sees her new target and runs full steam with a battle cry, but Julia is quicker, ducks under the incoming lariat, boots the one and only in the womb, and then sprints off the ropes, glumps onto the queen, twists herself around, and takes her down to the mat. Queen Aminata is wobbly and a bit dizzy, so she stumbles back into the vacant corner of the ring. Julia continues her flurry of violence and runs full tit at Queen Aminata, clocks her with a forearm, but it's also kind of like a body slam that takes the breath out of the one and only, really. Unfortunately for Julia, this has activated Aminata, and when she is brought out of the corner by Hart, Queen Aminata blocks the forearm from Julia and takes her out with a strong forearm of her own. A snappy suplex slams Julia down to the mat, and Aminata waits patiently for her to get back to her feet. The crowd are chanting for the queen, and her tag partners are ramping them up even more. Queen Aminata hooks Julia's arms and spins her around in a swinging full Nelson that transitions into those chocolate kisses, which everyone in the arena is very excited about, apart from two people who are very livid, and one of them is currently receiving said kisses. Sky is like, fuck this noise, and gets into the ring to stop the sweet smooches of violence, but the world champion is quicker to intercept, and she hefts her out of the ring, and Sky tumbles down to the floor. Timeless continues to give Sky some lip, and then Billy gets thrown out of the ring to join her by Mina Shirakawa. Queen Aminata has Julia in her grasp, and she too gets put through the ropes, but only out to the apron. Aminata and Timeless have mind melded a plan, and while Aminata holds her head in place, Timeless runs off the ropes and takes Julia out with a heavy attack. Julia goes flying into her tag partners. Timeless follows as there is more violence to be dished out. Tony picks up Billy and sends her into the boot of Queen Aminata. Sky and Julia have huddled up, obviously trying to rebuild their stamina and health with a little conjuring. But this moment in the dark realm puts them at risk as their bodies get maneuvered into position for a flying crossbody from Mina. Timeless keeps the Sisters of Sin together in their healing circle, and Queen Aminata positions the buggered Billy. All three of them become Mina Shirakawa's landing pad. The world champion releases a battle cry from the depths, and the crowd erupt into cheers as they get to their feet. It's titty shimmies all around and celebration on the outside as the faces bask in their powerful glory. Now this is when you take a moment to battle cry. With one last clap of power for good luck, Queen Aminata grabs Julia by the hair and rolls her back into the ring as Mina and Tony get back to their corner. Even though Sky is still very close to the Face's corner, she has no fear. Interfering, she just goes and grabs Aminata by the leg, giving Hart a chance to get herself together and onto her feet. Hart grabs Aminata by the hair, slams her backwards onto the apron, which, as we all know, is the hardest part of the ring. Aminata hits the back of her head hard, and she rolls slowly into the ring. Julia mounts the queen and Julia mounts the queen and starts raining down forearms onto Aminata. Sky gets back up onto the apron in her corner, but Billy is still nowhere to be seen. You seen a Billy? I don't know. Have you seen Billy? I have no idea where Billy is. While Tony and Mina are trying to build up as much power from the crowd as possible, while Julia tries to choke out Aminata, Aminata's strong legs get under her, and she gets finally to her feet. But it does no good, as Julia keeps control and sends her into the corner to tag in Sky. Julia holds Aminata in place while Sky climbs through the ropes. Sky stomps on Queen Aminata, then shoves her boot into her throat, pushing Aminata deeper into the corner, digging right into that middle turnbuckle. Sky taunts the world champion and disrespectfully slams Aminata down on the mat, whilst giving the crowd some shit as well. Aminata tries to take advantage of this distraction and get to her corner for the tag, but Sky quickly pounces on her before she can reach them and takes out Mina and Tony for good luck. Very smart wrestling there, Miss Blue. Queen Aminata finds herself in a choke again in the middle of the ring this time, and she tries to power out of it. But Sky's rage boost slams her back down to the mat. Sky stomps over her and then taunts the crowd again when they boo. Their chairs ain't working, and she's rubbing it in their face. Sky grabs a handful of Queen Aminata's hair again and takes her with her to tag in Julia. But Sky doesn't let go of Queen Aminata and whips her into Julia for some extra stomps to the gut. Julia awaits her, and when Aminata gets whipped into her again, Julia stops her momentum with double stomps and slams her down to the mat. Julia plants Aminata where she wants her, and with a few more stomps, she climbs the ropes to do her gorgeous moonsault. Queen Aminata rolls out of the way, but Julia manages to land on her feet. Aminata bursts into action and takes Julia out with a fisherman suplex and takes everything out of Aminata. The crowd and their tag partners are desperately trying to get the both of the downed wrestlers moving and to their feet, but it is proving rather difficult. They both eventually make it, and as Julia tags in Sky Aminata, as Julia tags in Sky, Queen Aminata tags in Tony, and it's once again a battle between Blue and Timeless. But the world champion is 100% activated now, and Sky runs straight into a couple of shotgun drop kicks. With a battle cry, Tony takes out Billy, just in case, and then hits Blue over her head with a German suplex. Tony sets up for the hip attack and runs her buns full steam into Sky Blue's face. Julia tries a quick little action to help, but Timeless toss trips. Timeless toe trips her into Blue's womb. Toss tripping into Blue's womb. That sounds a bit different. Julia gets suplex out of the way, and she instantly grabs her face when she lands on the mat, as if she was ghost punched, and then groggily rolls out of the ring, almost taking the ref out as she goes. The Timeless One tries to deal with Blue, but Sky Blue is still thinking in battle mode and pulls the Timeless One's feet out from under her, rolls the world champion up, and goes for a quick little pin, but the Queen of Quick Pins herself gets out of it before 3. I can see a one-on-one battle with Sky Blue in the Timeless One's future, I reckon. Tony Storm recovers and slams Blue to the mat for a pin of her own via a choke bomb, but the ref is distracted by the whispers of incantations coming from Julia, and by the time he counts that pin, Billy is already in the ring, giving the world champion a PK to her back. Mina is in the ring, also quick as hell, and knocks Billy out with a rolling elbow. Whatever spell Julia has cast has worked because she's still bleeding from her nose, but is back in the ring to take Mina down. Queen Aminata sees her chance and gives Julia a double chop to the chest that sends her back out of the ring. Sky Blue is back on her feet now and takes Queen Aminata out with a vicious swinging neckbreaker, followed by a battle cry from the depths of blue. Battle cry from the deep blue depths is what I meant to say. Depths? Didn't even mean to say that either. Depths. The world champion is back on her feet, and Sky turns her rage back onto her. Timeless and Sky Blue exchange stiff forearms. The world champion is putting everything into every shot. When Timeless gets one stiff shot too many, she switches it up with a sharp chop to Sky's chest. This almost collapses Blue, but she recovers and gives the world champion a stiff chop in return. When this doesn't work, Tony switches it up to boots into the womb, but Sky evolves again and cracks Storm in the face with a rising knee. Sky unleashes a battle cry and runs to the ropes. Timeless One counters, and both wrestlers collide in the middle of the ring and hit the mat hard. Julia hasn't managed to stop the bleeding pouring out of her nose, but she is clear-headed, focused, and is reaching out with all of her strength and length to take the tag from Blue. The adrenaline, though, must have drained out of Sky because she was feeling a whole battle in every single one of her limbs as she drags herself to her corner. Tony isn't the fastest either, but they eventually make it, and both Mina and Julia tag into this match into the same time. Mina sees the blood coming from Julia's nose and she makes it gush more with several forearm shots. Mina catapults off the ropes and takes Julia down with a sling blade. Mina grabs Julia's legs and locks them in a figure four. Shirakawa then engages strength mode and lifts Julia up so Hart ends up in a kind of a headstand situation. Things don't get better for Julia as Mina falls backwards and Julia comes back down, crashing onto Mina's knees. As the crowd start chanting for Mina, this doesn't end up going very well, though. She gets kicked backwards by Hart as she tries to lock her legs for the step through figure four lock again. Mina then stumbles back into Billy, who takes her opportunity to clock Mina in the face. Julia rolls up the very wobbly Mina for the pin, but cannot still keep her down for that three. Mina springs to her feet and cracks Julia in the face with a forearm that drops Julia Hart. Billy is trying to reach out to Julia for the tag, but Mina drags her further into the middle of the ring and puts her in the figure four lock. Julia screams out in pain. Billy tries to get into the ring to save her. The ref is having none of it, though, and neither are the faces, as Tony and Queen Aminata come sprinting around the ring and pull Billy down off from the apron. The ref is now completely distracted by these shenanigans and gives Sky the perfect opportunity to get into that ring and help her sister of sin out by rolling her over, turning the submission onto Mina with one fluid motion. Sky then rolls back out of the ring, completely undetected. Billy, unfortunately, gets double suplexed on the outside by Timeless and the one and only. While Mina and Julia wrestle on the canvas, Sky is in battle motion. No, Sky is on a battle mission. And she ninjas under the ropes again, but this time to the opposite side, and gives Queen Aminata a swift kick to the face. And then the world champion gets one of her own. Back in the ring, Mina has rolled herself and Julia over the rope spin, breaks the submission. Blue is back in the ring and back up to Julia, who is now limping and still bleeding. Whew, Hart is tough as folk. But so is Mina, and she takes out Blue and Hart, sending them both out of the ring. Billy tries to take her out by flying into the ring by the top rope, but Mina is too quick, and she avoids Starks. Mina cracks Billy in the head with a spinning back fist, and that takes care of Billy. Mina yoinks her up for the glamorous Mina driver. Mina pins Billy to the mat and gets the win with 1 and 2 and 3. That glamorous driver Mina drove Billy's head straight into that mat, and she was not getting up. As Mina's music plays in victory, before she can even get her arm raised, someone else seems very keen to get into the ring and help? Question mark. Celebrate. It's Tekla! She is in battle gear, all black with an army camo crop top, because you gotta get your abs out, people. And before Mina can even blink, she is taken out. Queen Aminata gets into the ring pretty damn quickly, but so does Blue, and gets dominated. Julia gets her hurting bod into the ring, and she starts stomping on Aminata between Tekla's punches. Blue has moved on to Mina Shirakawa and is laying hands into her. Tony Storm is in the ring like a flash and starts taking out Julia and Sky. Tekla, done with Aminata, completes the Triangle of Madness, and they overcome Tony Storm, who gets slammed face first onto the mat by a double teaming Hart and Blue, who then double super kick her into the face. Tekla engages Spider Mode and missiles through the world champion with a spear. Mina Shirakawa and Queen Aminata get the exact same treatment, and all 3 members are taken out as the crowd boo with their displeasure. The Triangle of Madness's music hits, and even though they technically lost, they stand victorious in the ring. My girls kick some butt, and we leave Collision with the Triangle of Madness basking in their glory. That was mean of them, but that was also awesome. Here's hoping our Queen of Darkness, our Sister of Spells, Julia Hart, manages to heal her poor little bod before the next fight. But even if she needs to leave it out for a little bit, her girls Tekla and definitely Sky Blue have her back. Before drop kicking ourselves into ROH's Death Before Dishonor, we must first pop into Honor Club for a cuppa and perhaps maybe a Becky, while we watch the fabulous Taya Valkyrie take on that equally fabulous Allison Kay. As an extra little treat, we get to watch a promo taped at the Rev Pro event from the Forever Champ, the Fallen Goddess, the Minion Overlord, the American Joshi, Athena Elite Wrestlings, as of recording, 2 days away from being ROH World Champion for 1,000 days. Athena. She is accompanied by Starks, and the English are booing her mercilessly. Athena's opponent is still out in the ring, and Athena directs her to pick her up, and she does obediently. The Forever Champ does some dastardly business with her opponent, and then Mina Shirakawa comes running into the ring with a kendo stick. Mina stomps into the ring. Athena leaves Billy to take her on. Billy holds her hands up in surrender, and the bubblegum Mina doesn't attack her straight away. But then Billy's like, "Sykes!" and Mina takes her out kendo stick. Ha ha! But back to ROH. Allison Kay is from Detroit, Michigan, and she is walking out to the ring full of battle spirit. She is ready to take on her opponent, Taya Valkyrie. We have spoken about the awesome Allison Kay before in a previous episode of this show. Allison wears some very cool battle gear with a white leather studded jacket, and she battle poses in the middle of the ring. Very quickly, the vibe changes as the insane, but in a good way, music of Taya, Mr. TV, and MXM hits. Taya is in her fabulously theatric black battle coat, and the 4 of them make their way into the ring. One of the best entrances occurs, and Taya is ready for battle. You can see in the background that AK is watching all this pageantry go down, and she seems rather amused. The boys give Allison Kay some sass as they exit the ring, and Taya instantly starts mean girling. The handshake of honor is observed. Well, kind of. And the battle is on. AK starts off fast. She is all over Taya, throwing her around the ring, which is impressive because Taya is also a big muscle mama. AK uses Taya as a punching bag in the corner, throws her around some more, and then Taya nopes the fook out of there. MXN and Mr. Television are behind their Taya, and while MXN trying to stop the crowd from clapping, Johnny TV grabs the foot of Allison Kay, stopping her from doing whatever it was she had in mind. And when he gets caught for doing it, Mr. TV has the perfect alibi of that he was just modeling, and he gives us a little demonstration. Shenanigans successfully completed. Taya gets back into the ring and takes full advantage of AK's distraction. Taya throws her to the ropes, kicks her in the womb, and stomps on the downed AK. Taya throws her out of the ring and goes out to follow, but sorry, my brain went boo out of my nose. But before Taya does anything, she gets a strength boost from hubby via smooches. Taya boots AK in the gut and then throws her back into the ring. Taya gives AK a couple of spicy chops in the corner and a tempsay pin, but is unsuccessful. AK powers out of the surfboard stretch and gets to her feet. That strength boost went to the wrong body parts because AK dominates Taya all around the ring, and after a stiff boot to the gut, AK goes for the pin, but Taya kicks out at 2. Neither wrestler are able to use their power moves on each other due to the very similar levels of strength. They are able to counter them, so both wrestlers use kicks and forearms to wear each other down. Taya gives AK a double stomp of evil and goes for the pin, but AK fucks out of that. Unfortunately, the battle will turn drastically against AK next as all of MXN TV gets involved with the match. Mr. Television distracts the ref while Mansoor holds on to Taya's arm, stopping AK executing her move. Taya knows she only has a small amount of time to make this work and cracks AK in the face with what looks like a little closed fisty, twists her up for a brutal Shania Payne. The 1, the 2, and the 3. Taya wins this match, and a manic happiness explodes from within her. From me, that's saying a lot. Taya sticks around for the open challenge of MXN TV, but we have a pay-per-view to get to. This entire Death Before Dishonor is free to watch on the ROH YouTube page. It is a gift that I hope many people are taking advantage of. There were some real life stream issues, so Real Life TK put it on the YouTubes and gave his subscribers some compensation and all that kind of wonderful stuff. We are in the 2300 Arena in Philly for Death Before Dishonor, and the whole arena is packed, and there is a wild vibe. Everyone is pumped and ready to see some excellent wrestling. Like I say, watch the whole fucking thing. It's amazing. In the pre-show, we have our sunflowered hair woman, Taya Valkyrie, again in a suit that hugs everything and is very wrestling appropriately sparkled. She is not wrestling, as it's men's multi-trio. I thought, deserved a little mention. Allison Bucks is here. She's back. She's here for a match against the Jekyll and Hyde 2000s herself, Billy Starks. Billy Starks is in battle gear that looks straight out of Joshi, and it's giving me like Starlight Kid meets Kana vibes. Vox, the master of the fish hook, is in her blue and white battle two-piece, and she battle poses on the ropes. When Billy Starks goes to battle pose on the ropes herself, the bottom rope goes into slight business for itself. And perhaps Vox has maybe slipped them a 20? The Pure Women's Title Tournament is ready to go! This is a little exhibition Pure match to get us in the mood. No other ringside people are allowed in Pure matches. 3 rope breaks each, and it's a 10-minute time limit. After that, it goes to judges. Billy uses her height to troll Vox for a bit, but Vox has dealt with this shit before, and she doesn't let Billy provoke her. Vox gets Billy in an octopus stretch, and no bullshit, it's one of the best in wrestling at the moment, I think. Vox glomps on you really well and wrenches that arm back for full extension. Billy ends up having to use one of her rope breaks to get out of it. Vox doesn't stop and get Billy into a pin. Vox doesn't stop, and she gets Billy into a pin with a backslide. But Billy powers out at 2. Vox makes Billy have to kick out again with a victory roll into another pin. Vox is using her quickness to confuse Billy, but once Vox tries to use a power move, she gets countered by Billy, who then catapults Vox into the corner turnbuckle with an Alabama slam. Starks releases a battle cry from the depths. Unfortunately for Vox, Starks is now activated. Starks stomps Vox into the corner until the ref has to threaten her with disqualification. Billy staunches out the ref, but keeps her hands to herself and instead gives Vox a running knee to the face. The crowd are trying to chant Vox to victory, but the bully in Billy has taken over, and she is being nasty to everybody. You good? We good? We good? Okay, I heard something, so I was like, huh? Billy fucks up, though, and she takes her attention away from Vox to yell at the ref. Vox engages super speed mode and escapes the corner, but also ends up going face first into the top turnbuckle when Starks sidesteps through the ropes, and she plants Vox's head into the mat with a beautiful satellite DDT. Billy takes too long to climb to the top rope, and when she flies for the swanton dive, Vox rolls out of the way, so Billy crashes down onto the mat. Vox's speed knows no limits, and she activates again while taking Billy down with the rolling head scissors that sets her up for her devastating fish hook. The crowd are now fully behind Vox, and so is my brain, thank goodness. At first, Billy manages to block the fish hook, but Vox eventually locks it in, and Billy screams out in pain. Stark takes it to the ropes and uses her second rope break. She now only has one, but Vox still has three. Billy has been in trouble when it comes to Vox's submissions, I have to say. Billy goes full demon bully and clocks Vox in the face with a closed fist, and she drops to the mat. Now, I thought, since this is of hero rules and all, that Billy would have been disqualified instantly for that, but she just gets an official warning, which really surprises me because, like, whoop-de-doo. Billy grabs Vox by the hair and puts her in position for perhaps a kneecap banebuster, but Vox engages her quickness again and rolls Billy out for a tight little pin. Starks manages to kick out, but they have only 4 minutes left in this match. Yeah, Vox was robbed, I have to say. Billy totally should have been disqualified for that punch because it was definitely affecting Vox's ability to counter, especially after a face buster from Billy, who then sets up for the kneecap brain buster again and pins Vox for. The crowd boo Billy, but she just hot dogs her way out of the ring. Billy is in the pure tournament, but after that I would have kicked her out. But who am I? We get the first match. Oh, no. We get the first match of the pure title tournament in this TPP. Fuck me. Let's do that again. In this PPV. Shoot her. She's down. She's lame. She's lost all control over her mind, and her mouth is all running down a river and out into the drain. Whew. We get the first match of the pure title tournament in this pay-per-view. Hurrah! Queen Aminata will face Taya Valkyrie, who has been quite the star in this week's episode. The entire bracket has been released for the ROH Pure Championship Tournament. On the left, we have Taya versus Queen Aminata and Diana Perazzo versus Trisha. I cannot wait for that match. That match is going to be brilliant. On the right is Billy Starks versus Olympia, who's from CMLL, and Serena Deeb is facing Yuka Sakazaki. Fucking yosh! The absolute bonkers music of MXM TV's hits. And the most fabulous faction in wrestling make their entrance again. Taya is in a deep wine-colored battle coat this time and some gorgeous pink, black, and sparkly battle gear. Of course, the fluffiest leggies in wrestling are here too. Taya battle poses on the ropes and the rest of MXM vacate the area because pure match, people. The hip rockin' beats of Queen Aminata's music hits and our one and only makes her way out to the battle. Queen Aminata has stunning new battle gear in gold, shimmering browns, and animal print. She looks stunning. The one and only makes her ring entrance and battle poses in the middle of the ring. Handshake of honor completed, and the crowd starts this match off with chants of Queen Aminata. It's pure rules, baby. And Taya uses her first and second rope break pretty damn quickly. Taya seems to not really care, though, as she is too busy arguing with the crowd. Taya gets the first pin, but it doesn't go too well for her. After Queen Aminata kicks out, she takes down Taya and feeds her some chocolate kisses. An absolutely dazed Taya then gets a stiff running knee to the face from the one and only. Aminata sends Taya into the corner, lines her up, and runs in with a heavy lariat, sending Taya to the opposite corner again. But Taya is not interested in another murder hug and gets the fuck out of there. Queen Aminata gets hung up on the ropes after a high kick to the side of the head from Taya. Valkyrie then runs up, slides underneath Aminata, and German suplexes her onto the mat as Taya slips through to the outside. It's a very impressive move that really slams the back of your opponent's head into the mat. I like it. Taya's dastardly deeds and shenanigans all over the outside, putting Queen Aminata in many illegal positions, utilizing the apron's extra hardness to get more damage from stomping on the back of Queen Aminata. Not very pure and or honorable, I have to say. Queen Aminata cracks Taya in the face, but it doesn't knock her out. Taya absorbs the hit, yoinks Aminata, and then slams her into the mat for a pin. But it was a heavy slam. But the Queen kicks out defiantly at 1. Taya Valkyrie kicks Aminata out of the ring again, and then boots her in the butt on the outside. I thought this was a pure match, people. What's going on here? What's all these shenanigans? Taya leans Aminata up against the steel steps whilst grabbing one of Queen Aminata's legs. Taya looks her dead in the eye and boots her in the punani. Definitely not pure and or honorable. Aminata goes down and the crowd rightfully boo Taya. Oh, the ref just stands there in the ring, counting his little count, while Taya slams Queen Aminata's face into the steel steps. My word. Taya throws Queen Aminata back into the ring and attempts a few quick pins, but Aminata kicks out defiantly. You do not kick a woman in her punani and then expect her to stand down for pins. Taya wraps Queen Aminata's legs up and eventually makes her use one of her rope breaks. Taya and Aminata turn into exchanging stiff forearms in the middle of the ring at each other. A beautiful dance of clobbering violence ensues between the two wrestlers. Aminata almost demolishes Taya with double chops that go into a Lotus Lock, but that forces Taya to use her final rope break instead. Taya smack talking with the crowd finally comes back to bite her in the butt, as this distraction gives Aminata the room to set up for the Queen's crown. And Queen Aminata gets the win right there. Where did that come from? The boom! Just as Queen Aminata was in the middle of celebrating her win, the music of the wrestler we have all been wondering about the whereofs. The whereofs? Been all wondering about the whereofs of that woman. Explodes into the 2300 arena. My brain's gone. Where did it go? You have it. Give it back. Please, give it back. I need it. I still have more episode to do. I need my brain back. Please. Thank you. Diana faces Trish Adora, but it looks like she already has her sights on Queen Aminata as she walks straight up into the ring and face to face with the victor. Yay! Welcome back, Virtuosa, and welcome back to my brain. Thank you. Please don't leave me again, brain. You make me look like an idiot. Holy flying fraggles, people! Are you ready for the main event of Death Before Dishonor? It is time for the ROH World Championship between the Forever Champ, happy birthday, by the way, and Mina Shirakawa, the interim ROH television title holder. Color and love explode into the 2300 arena as Mina Shirakawa's music hits. The whole arena is super excited to see Mina. She dances her dance of battle and makes her way into the ring. She doesn't have her title on her at this time, so no little extra boosts. Mina is here and she is ready. Our forever champ, the fallen goddess, the American Joshi, the minion overlord, the ROH world champion, who is 2 days away from 1,000 days. Her music hits. And two very athletic and acrobatic minions come out to the entrance area. Athena follows with a Billy Starks, making a very questionable wardrobe choice for this match, but we'll get back to that. She's behind her, and before the Forever Champ can make her way to the ring, Starks holds her back a bit. There seems to be someone else coming out with him. Who on earth could that be? Silly me, I could have guessed from Billy's tea, but it's the blue motherfucking meanie. Damn, his music hits. He comes out. He's all like, "Woo, yeah!" Dun, 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 ba, ba, ba. Athena is at first very, very miffed, but eventually, it gets in the hips, it gets in the hands, and she just rolls with it. Woo! She is back on board and she boogies her way to the ring. But when the blue meanie starts getting over, that's enough of that. No. Out of the ring you go, Sir Blue Meanie. Get out of here. The world champion, the ROH world champion, sends the Blue Meanie on his way. Bless him. He's looking shocked about the whole thing. He was like, I was having a moment, but he ruined it. Athena staunches him out and yells at him on his way as she holds her title up defiantly. Also very miffed at the crowd for like going along with this as well. It cracked me up. We set the stage for this amazing main event, which, as I would like to point out to you again, is also free to watch on the YouTube. You will be doing yourself a massive, massive favor. I will try and paint you the visual painting of this beautiful dance of violence, but you really do just need to see it for yourself. The World Championship, the ROH World Championship, is being held high, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous championship. But our world champion, she is on full form this evening. She's all giving it all this, hardly shaking Mina's hand at all. And honor, definitely not honor. Mina Shirakawa, I thought, was going to grab her hand and like rip it apart, like to break it. But no, she just grabs it very strongly, yells at her a bit, and then Athena woofs her on her way. The bell rings, and the whole crowd just starts singing for Mina, which, as you know, completely gets under Athena's skin. She yells at the ref. She wants everything to be checked. When he starts checking her, she gets really, really sassy about it. And then eventually they engage. It is non-stop from the word go. They lock up. Athena powers her into the corner, but they don't break hold. Mina breaks out again. They twist around in the middle of the ring. An entire amount of power and just passion just gets thrown at each other as they wrench around each other's arms, trying to get the higher ground onto the, well, they might try to be getting higher after the match, but no, now is for matching. Athena eventually slows the pace down with a little headlock, but then it zooms back in again. Athena trying to get a very quick pin first, misses because it is all Joshi action. If you have seen Joshi action, this is fast-paced like Joshi action. It is so good and they're so freaking strong. Knew I wouldn't be able to do this much justice, but oh my god, it's so amazing. We get a fun little titty shimmy from Mina Shirakawa, which infuriates Athena, and she grabs that hand that was previously broken and almost breaks it again. But Mina is like, hell no, Missy, takes her hand away, and it's just a flurry of offense all again. You cannot keep up with these women at all. They are just running around. It is so good. Eventually, Athena gets a bit miffed. She has to take a bit of time out, you know, as all good champions do. She needs a little chat with her minion. In between the ropes, this is all, you know, fine. We don't have any rope break, shenanigans going on here because this isn't pure. You know, she can be a rope break as much as she wants. Eventually, she gets back into the ring. The crowd have been giving her absolute shit because they're absolute bastards. And Mina is also taunting her. She does it even more with some more dancing in the ring, which really, really maddens Athena. And she tries to get it in on her, but every time Mina is just booting her back, locking her head in. It's not going well for Athena at all. And they're pretty matched. They're pretty damn fucking matched through this whole goddamn thing. A couple of times, I have to say, I was actually really, really worried about Athena losing her title before it even got to like 1,000 days. Mina is working super hard on weakening that knee for her figure four leg lock, because if she's going to get the win on the champion, I think it's going to have to be a submission. I don't think she will stay down for a pin at all. Athena gives herself some more room by rolling out to the outside, thinking this is going to help, but Mina out there with her. She's got the crowd on her side. All of her confidence is like raised to the roof because she's seeing that the world champion is quite hurt. But it was a ruse. Athena turns it on Mina and slams her forearm into the ring post and then slams it again onto the unmovable ROH announce desks. It seems the ROH announce desk also has the same high HP as the main AEW announce desks. Losing my mind again. Don't look at Julian. She takes it away from me. After these shenanigans on the outside, which were quite a lot, I have to say, she gets her hand multiply slammed into that announce desk. Athena then throws her into the steel stairs. Those steel stairs have been in some, and they've been in the business this pay-per-view, haven't they? You know what's not in the business? My brain, because it's not reading these. Oh my goodness. I'm going down. I'm going down, Shane. I'm going down. Hang on a second. I need to take a break. I need to take a drink. Oh dear, I'm getting all flustered. Getting all flustered over here. It's all falling apart. Where am I going? Where am I going? Who knows? You know what? It is a where am I going? What am I doing? Oh dear. All right. I'm back. Oh shit, get the water out of my hand. I know, right? Don't finish weak. Strong, 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 strong. Yeah. I was gonna yeah. For the end. Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna round it off with a to that because yeah. No, no, no. It's all good. It's all good. You were just checking in, just making sure. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Ah, exactly. Which I like that about us. All right. It does. It does. It really does. All right. Focus, woman. Focus. The dastardly deeds, unfortunately, are not done for our dear Mina Shirakawa, and the steel steps play their part again. Athena shoves her hand in between the stairs and the ring and runs full steam, missiling into those steps, and Mina screams out in pain. I mean, she had to know that this was going to be a weakness, and Athena was going to capitalize on this in any way she could. Maybe try and break the whole arm this time. Oh dear, but still, this is some extra brutal stuff. Athena only had to go there because she's really getting taken to her limits during this match. Even Billy, after this, has to like push her back into the ring to get her started. Athena comes into the ring and boots Mina in the face to try and capitalize on this pin, but even her pin isn't really that strong, and Mina still breaks out before the 3 count. Athena then starts feeling herself again. She leans on that arm that she just smushed and starts giving her own little, Mina titty shimmy. Athena has seen that she's really broken through that power of, well, the power to ignore pain in Mina Shirakawa. And that arm is just now hers. She stomps on it whilst laughing, by the way, which I'm actually kind of glad like turns in her favor, because Mina takes this opportunity to roll her up in a tight little package. She gets out at 3. I mean, gets out before 3. But then Athena is like insanely mad at the fact that she just made her look, well, the fact that she just humiliated her. Oh, she does more damage onto that arm. She stomps on it. She almost gives it kind of like her own arm, like a face breaker onto her knee. And this is really, really, really going to cripple Mina for this match. Athena grabs her arm again and puts it into a very interesting submission that's kind of like a head scissors for her arm in a way. Once again, laughing the entire time, she is hurting Mina Shirakawa, who is fighting again through the pain. She's very strong. She's very tough. She's a very, very powerful woman. But you can only like put up with so much. Mina even forgets about her arm, like a little, like later into the match, and even uses it to try and take out Athena. But she's hurt her arm. It takes away her entire like concentration. And again, Athena takes advantage of this, and her head gets thrown into the turnbuckle. While she's in the turnbuckle, Athena places her arm. I can't really see like too well, but it's like she places her arm, in between that little smushy bit, as it goes with the stuff, and then she just starts kicking at the turnbuckle. This has got to be enough. This has got to be enough. The ref has to do something about this. Mina rolls out of the ring, because Athena still technically can do this until 5. She just flops there, just holding onto her arm. Athena is in the middle of the ring with her little hands and her little footsies flailing in the air. And once again, she's just feeling herself. Athena goes out to the outside, obviously planning on doing some more humiliating damage to Mina. But she has given Mina quite a while to recover, and Mina Shirakawa ends up taking advantage of the much smaller amount of space that they have for this Ring of Honor like match on the outside. It's a lot smaller, it's not so wide. She uses that to advantage and her quickness, and she turns it on Athena, who goes slamming into the barricades. Mina manages to get inside of the ring before the 10 count. Is it a 10 count or is it a 20 count in Ring of Honor? Oh my God, I should have double checked this. I think it's actually a 10 count. I mean, a 20 count for Ring of Honor. She manages to get in before that count and awaits the champion to roll in. Once the champion rolls in, she should have known that she should have kept her eyes on it because this is her move. Mina stomps the life out of her and goes for another pin. She goes for another pin after a long time of thinking about it, though, and Athena manages to kick out. Athena is hurting. Though breath is out of her. Her knee is still giving her shit. She's limping around the ring. She's still trying to kick with it because she's a badass. But Mina catches the limping leg and takes her down, putting her in the move that we had Julia in earlier. The old figure 4 arm thing. Pulls Athena up onto like a headstand and then catapults her backwards, really wrenching on that knee and kind of getting her lower back with her own knee as well. Athena is in a lot of trouble now, but so is Mina. She has to take a little while to get some breath, but she drags the one and only, the forever goddess, the forever champion over to the ring post, and I think we all know what's coming to Athena next. Outside shenanigans are just free reign, it seems, at this moment. Mina twists her AEW's. Athena, she twists her leg around the turnbuckle and goes to put on the hanging figure 4, but dear Minion Belly is here to take her out and tell her to stop all of that shenanigans. This distraction didn't go well, though. And might be a little thorn in the Minion, the Minion mentor leadership. So Athena has managed to quickly get herself away from that ring post. She doesn't want to give Mina Shirakawa any ability to come back and put that hanging figure 4 leg lock on her. Ugh. But as she comes running through the ropes with her missile torpedo, Mina Shirakawa pushes Billy into the way, and Mina gets out of it, and Athena cracks Billy into the ring announce desk and goes down. Billy is out. And Athena is really, really mad because that wasn't what was meant to happen at all. She grabs her by the hair, throws her back into the ring, but as she goes to grab her, Mina Shirakawa head scissors her to try and take her down with it, but Athena's strength wins the battle. And while Mina is like around her legs, with like a head scissors thing, Athena grabs her by the arms and just swings her into the barricades, and she hits hard. These wrestlers have been throwing absolutely everything at each other. Mina Shirakawa wants this win. She wants to beat Athena. Athena doesn't want to lose this at all. This is her title. She's 2 days away from being champion of 1,000 days. But this knee issue is really testing her strength. She comes back into the ring. Mina is already in there. She takes this opportunity to dragon screw Athena's fucking knee even worse. She gets her into the ring, locks on that figure four leg lock. Athena tries to get out of it, attacking that arm again. It's still giving her trouble, but it ain't going anywhere. Mina is locked on. The problem with having a fucked hand, though, is that you can't really push against the mat to keep you in place. And so while she has to shake that out, Athena manages to drag both of them over to the ropes, and she breaks the hold. This pisses Mina off. Mina's been pissed, but this is like the first time she's gotten like to this pissed. And it kind of got her into a bit of trouble because she ends up getting like suplexed off the ropes. But she just gets up with a battle cry. She's fucking activated. She does the same thing to Athena. You think Athena's out, but Athena just gets activated and she battle cries. And they both throw each other into each other and then collapse into the middle of the ring. The whole arena is on their face with applause, applauding this absolute mission of a battle. Is anyone even going to win? Are they just going to end up knocking each other out and then that's just going to be it? Whew. Like I say, please, please, please go watch this match. It was one of the best main events I have ever seen. We get so freaking close to a Mina Shirakawa win. She can almost taste it, but it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be at all for our dear Mina Shirakawa. Athena uses all of the tricks in her dastardly little book, and even though she is beaten and down and limping and absolutely fucked, she manages to powerbomb Mina down, slowly climb up to the top rope. And with the biggest battle cry, and everyone looking on in absolute horror, apart from me, of course, Athena flies at Mina Shirakawa and takes her out with the O-face. Even the entire arena can't help but get on their feet and applaud. They all wanted Mina to win, but they cannot deny that the better woman won this match. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. Every single move that they had in their arsenal, they fucking threw at each other, leaving both, like, even after the pin, like, both down on the mat, just dying. I mean, Athena still limping. I think maybe a different person would have been humbled. But excuse me. But this is Athena we're talking about. One of the very few people to have kicked out of the glamorous driver Mina. She did that. But then Athena almost literally knocked Mina's block off with the power bomb, and it was just ready and waiting to be taken out with no face. But before we, end off and talk about our thoughts of this wonderful pay-per-view and match, let's clear my throat. I would like to thank Mr. TK for giving Mina and Athena all of the trust and respect to take this pay-per-view out and be the main event. Definitely the main event of the entire pay-per-view. Even if it wasn't the main event, everyone would have been saying, that should have been the main event right there. It was astounding. And it's for free. I can't get over how much I have to say this. It's for free. You need to watch this. People will be studying this match for years to come. The way they built up the drama and the physical exertion that they went through to like try and beat each other, getting to the point where almost like I said, multiple times Mina could have won. Yes, Athena took advantage of the hand, but why wouldn't she? It's Athena. And Mina, she would have known that. She would have done the exact same thing. No diss on Mina at all. She would have exactly just done the same thing. And that's just what you do. You exploit. Yeah, we'll go with exploit. You exploit a weakness and then you take it to victory. Victory smiles back, holds the title up, looks down at Mina. No shame. And watch it, people. Watch it. It was an beat. It was an amazing match, and I loved it. Thank you, Mina and Athena, for putting on a brilliant match. So yes, we have come to the end of our episode. What are your thoughts on this amazing match? Please tell me what you think of it. Go watch it. If you haven't, go watch it again. If you already have, I definitely recommend it. If you so wish, you can leave them as comments in the appropriate sections of wherever you are. And if you would be so kind as to like and subscribe whilst you are there, I'd be very grateful. You can find me lurking threads at Bex_Bastet and under a tree at Blue Sky-Bastet. And also please follow us on TikTok. It's the show Don't Call Me Diva. Thank you, as always, goes out to my hardworking producer, Shane. He does promotion, he does editing, he does it all. He's a wonderful extraordinaire of all the jack of trades. Go check out Ethos Media if you would like to check out some more diverse content. Join us at sickosclub.com. I have the... Hang on, jumping here. Wah! Get your titties in there. We can't do it. We are rocking the OG S Club? Yeah, I guess it is S Club. Ain't no party like a sicko. We're not going there. We're out of here with... Ooh, hang on, I'm being waved at. We're okay. We're out of here. Join us at Sickos Club and at Sickos Club on Threads. You've never met a more inclusive, smart, talented, kind bunch of silly sausages who absolutely happen to enjoy wrestling. And apparently it ain't no party like an S Club party. S Club. That is now my little Sicko Club jingle. And with that, this was Don't Call Me Diva. Get me out of here. What is wrestling rouse? Don't be a dick. Oh my God.